You found your way here. Of all the things you could have done with this particular hour of this particular night, something in you chose this. Something in you reached for quiet, for rest, for a voice that might say something true in the dark. That something, the part of you that made this choice, is wiser than you may currently be giving it credit for. It knows what you need. It has always known. And tonight, we are going to listen to it together. So let the day go. Not in the sense of pretending it didn't happen, not in the sense of dismissing whatever it carried, but in the very literal sense of releasing your grip on it. The day is over. It is no longer happening. It exists now only as memory, and memory does not require your management tonight. You can set it down in the same way you set down your keys when you come through the door at the end of a long trip. Not throwing them, not losing them, just setting them on the surface nearest to you and walking past into the rest of the house. The day is set down. You are walking past it, into this, into the breath, into the quiet, into the particular quality of a night that has been waiting for you. Notice the body. Notice how it has arrived here, carrying the accumulated weight of the hours, the small tensions still held in the shoulders, the residual alertness still flickering in the eyes, even with the lids closed, the subtle grip of the jaw, the slight constriction in the chest. All of this is completely normal. All of this is what a body looks like at the end of a day in the world. And now, in this hour, all of this gets to begin to release, not by force, not by command, but by permission. The simple, radical, deeply underutilized permission to let the body stop working for a while. You have permission. You are being given it right now, formally and without condition. You can stop working. Your body can stop bracing. Your mind can stop preparing. Your nervous system can step back from its vigilant monitoring of the environment and take what it has not had enough of. True rest. Not the half rest of a mind that is technically horizontal but still composing the list. Not the almost rest of a body that is in bed but still clenching against some anticipated difficulty, but the real thing, the full thing, the rest that the body was designed for, that it is asking for, that it will use to do the extraordinary invisible work of rebuilding you during these hours, if you will only let it, let it. That's the whole instruction for tonight. Let it. Let the breath be what the breath is. Let the body be heavy. Let the mind be quiet. Let everything that doesn't have to happen right now not happen right now. And let the only thing that needs to happen, this rest, this return, this being held by the night, let that happen with your full permission and your full presence. Let's begin with the feet. Those faithful and underappreciated things that have been carrying you all day. Let them spread and release, the toes uncurling, the arch softening, the ankle, the heel. A warmth beginning there, the warmth of blood that is no longer being routed primarily toward alert and defensive systems, but is now settling into a more equal distribution. Warming the extremities the way it always does when the nervous system finally believes it is safe. Your nervous system is learning tonight that it is safe. Let it learn. Let the warmth spread up through the calves, heavy and liquid, through the knees, through the thighs, settling into the hips, releasing the low back. Let the spine find the mattress. Let the mattress do what the mattress is for. Let the ground hold you from below with the most patient and uncomplicated kind of support. The kind that asks absolutely nothing, that simply receives your weight and holds it, that would hold you all night and all of tomorrow and for as long as you needed without once suggesting you had overstayed. You have not overstayed. You belong here. This rest is yours. The belly softens, the chest opens on the next inhale, spreading wide, and on the exhale settles into something easier, something more natural, something approaching the resting position of a body that is not afraid. The shoulders release all the way past the point where you thought they could go, down toward the bed, away from the ears, the muscles across the upper back loosening their grip on the day. The arms are heavy, the hands open, the jaw unhinges, the space behind the eyes goes dark and soft. Even the scalp relaxes, all those tiny muscles across the skull that you didn't know you were clenching until they let go, and you feel, briefly, the faintest sensation of the crown of the head floating slightly, releasing into weightlessness. The way the body feels when the last held tension finally finds permission to leave. And the breath moves through all of this, in and out, slow and deep and automatic, not requiring your management, not asking for your oversight, just doing what breath does, which is to keep you alive with a faithfulness that has never wavered, not once, across the entire length of your life. Think about that for a moment before the thinking gets too quiet. The breath has never once decided you weren't worth keeping alive. It has shown up for you through every hard thing, every loss, every moment of profound self-doubt, every night when you were not sure you deserved the morning. The breath showed up anyway. The breath has always believed you deserved the morning. Let the breath be the first evidence tonight of something important, of something we are going to spend this night exploring, gently and completely, and in a way that the body will remember long after the thinking mind has moved on. The evidence of your worth, it is everywhere. If you know where to look, it has always been everywhere, and tonight you are going to find it. But first, just this breath, just this one, in and out. Very good. Now I want you to go somewhere, not with effort. This is not an exercise you have to work at. The image will come because images always come when the mind is this quiet. Let it come. You are moving toward a landscape, not one you have necessarily been to in waking life, but one that the body recognizes as safe. It is a wide and open place. It may be a field or a hillside or the edge of a forest where the trees are old and the ground is soft, or a desert under stars, or a coastal cliff at early morning. It is whatever your interior sense of safety produces when given room to be heard. Find that place. It is there. It is already forming behind the eyes, already available in the quiet of this drifting state. You are there, standing in it, or sitting, or lying in the grass, or simply present at the edge of it. And the light here is the kind of light that only exists in very good dreams and very clear memories, the kind that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere, that makes everything it touches look slightly more itself than usual, that has the quality of a world that is not trying to be anything other than exactly what it is. This place is yours. You did not have to earn it. You did not have to arrive here via any particular achievement or demonstrate anything to get through the gate. The gate, if there is one, was already open. It has always been open. This place has been waiting for you with an openness that is not impatient, not conditional, not keeping track of how long it has been since your last visit. It simply holds itself open, and when you come, it receives you completely, exactly as you are, exactly in this state, with this specific weight and this specific history and this specific question that tonight you might finally begin to let yourself answer. The question is, what if you are already enough, not eventually enough? Not enough once you have fixed the thing you are trying to fix, or achieved the thing you are trying to achieve, or healed the part of you that you believe needs healing before you are safe to present to the world as finished. Not future enough, present enough, right now enough, in this body, in this bed, in this specific and unrepeatable night. In this moment of having done nothing more and nothing less than lie down and breathe. What if you are already, as you are, completely and unambiguously enough? Let the question sit in the body rather than in the mind. The mind will want to argue with it. The mind has a very strong case prepared, full of evidence, organized by category, ready to present the 17 reasons why the answer is no, not yet, not quite. The mind has been rehearsing this case for years, possibly for decades, and it is very good at it. But tonight, we are not going to the mind with the question. Tonight, we are taking it deeper than the mind, down to the place where the body knows things that the mind has been arguing against for as long as the mind has been in charge. The body knows, the breath knows, the steady, loyal, never quit on you heartbeat knows. The cells that have been replacing themselves for your entire life, rebuilding you from the inside without complaint, without requiring your approval before they proceed. They know you are worth sustaining. You have always been worth sustaining. Every system in your body has been demonstrating this fact continuously, without pause, for every moment of your existence. That is worth. Not the performed kind, not the kind that depends on external confirmation, not the kind that rises and falls with the opinions of other people or the outcomes of your efforts. The fundamental, biological, unrenounceable kind. The kind that was present before you knew the word for it and will be present after the word is long gone. You are worth sustaining. Your life is worth the enormous daily effort that your own body pours into continuing it. That is the foundation. That is what is always there, even on the days when everything built on top of it seems to have been dismantled. The foundation is still there. It is there right now, under everything, solid. Now let the image of this landscape deepen. You are more settled into it now, more comfortable in it, more used to its particular quality of light and air. And as you settle more fully into this place, you begin to notice something. You begin to notice the quality of the silence here. It is not the tense silence of a room in which something unpleasant is about to be said. It is not the uncomfortable silence between two people who have run out of the right things to say. It is the silence of a landscape that has nothing to prove, the silence of a hillside that has been exactly this hillside for longer than any person has been alive, that has seen many seasons and many people and many difficulties, and that is still exactly itself. unchanged in its essential nature by anything that has passed through it. You have that quality. Underneath the story the day tells about you, the story of whether you performed well enough, connected well enough, produced enough, presented yourself in the way that would secure the approval you have been working for. Underneath all of that, there is an essential nature that is not modified by any of it. It is the same in the good days and the hard ones. It is the same when you are doing everything right and when you are falling short. It is the same when people see it and when they don't. It is the same when you remember to appreciate it and when you have spent months or years not thinking about it at all. It is simply there. It has always been simply there, and it is the most real thing about you. This is what self-worth actually refers to, not the assessment, not the measurement, not the result of the calculation performed by comparing yourself to some external standard and finding the outcome. Self-worth is not a score, it is a given. It is the pre-existing, unarguable, never actually contingent value of a person who is alive and conscious and here and breathing. It is the worth that was yours before you did a single thing to earn or lose it. It is the worth that the day's failures cannot subtract from and the day's successes do not add to because it was never on that scale to begin with. This is such important news. Take it in. Let it be more than a sentence that sounds good and then dissolves under the pressure of the more familiar story. Let it actually land in the body, in the warmth, in the slow breath. Your worth is not on the scale you have been placing it on. It never has been. The scale is not the right instrument. The scale measures achievement. The scale measures performance. The scale measures the gap between what you did and what you think you should have done. But worth is not in that column. Worth is in a different column entirely. The column that was filled in full before the assessment ever began. The column that reads the same on every day you have ever lived and every day you will ever live. Full. It reads full. Breathe in and breathe out, and let the fullness of it be in the chest, in the belly, in the quiet truth of a body that has never once stopped believing you are worth keeping alive. The body knows. Let yourself know it too. Going a little deeper now, the body is very heavy, very warm. The images of the landscape are soft and present behind the eyes. The thinking is becoming less sequential, more like weather than like argument, moving in general directions rather than following the sharp logic of the waking mind. This is the approach of sleep, and it is welcome. Let it come. You don't have to stay at the surface. And here, in this softer place, in this less defended place, I want to tell you something that it is easier to hear when the usual defenses are down. Something that is true, regardless of whether you are currently able to feel its truth. Something that has been true your entire life and will be true for the rest of it, in every circumstance, in every configuration of success or failure or ordinary day in between. You are not your resume. You are not your mistakes. You are not the sum of your regrets or the total of your achievements. You are not the role you play in other people's stories, and you are not the character the critical voice has been narrating you as. You are not what happened to you, though what happened to you is part of you. You are not what you did with it, though what you did with it is part of your story. You are not any single thing that could be named, categorized, evaluated, or measured, because you are the one doing the naming and the categorizing and the measuring. And the one doing all of that is always larger than any of the things it looks at. You are larger than the story. You have always been larger than the story. The story is a map, and you are the territory, and the map is always smaller than the territory, always less detailed, always missing things that are present in the actual ground. And the actual ground of you is richer and stranger and more beautiful and more worthy of tenderness than any map has ever managed to represent. Let that be true tonight. Let the territory of you be larger than the story that has been told about it, larger than the story you have been telling about it. Let there be more of you than the account. Let there be depth that the account has not reached, worth that the account has not measured, reality that the account has not touched. Because there always has been. The account is not the thing. You are the thing, and the thing is fine. The thing is more than fine. The thing is, by any honest measure, remarkable. A particular arrangement of consciousness and memory and feeling and capacity that has never existed before and will never exist again. That is here right now, breathing in a bed in the dark, being gently told something that is very simple and very true. You are enough. You have always been enough. The standard that said otherwise was not the right standard. The measurement that found you lacking was using the wrong instrument. The verdict that the critical voice has been issuing across the years of your life has never been the actual verdict. It has only ever been one voice, one perspective, one enormously partial and enormously self-serving account. The fuller account has more to say, and the fuller account says, you are enough. Now, there is a love that wants to confirm this, not because it needs to offer you something that you cannot find within yourself. The worth is already in you, it was already there. But because there is something about being known and loved by something outside yourself that makes the interior knowing more real, the way a fire is warmed both by its own fuel and by the air around it. The love from outside completes something. It confirms something. It makes tangible what was otherwise only theoretical. This love is real, and it is here. It has been here longer than you have been awake to it. It was here before you knew what love was, before you had language for it, before you had any of the frameworks through which you now understand the world. It was here when you were very small and needed it most and had no way of asking for it in words. It was here in the hardest nights of your adult life. It was here in every single moment when you were most certain you were unworthy of it, especially in those moments, most certainly in those moments. Jesus loves you, not the idea of you, not the cleaned up, best version, performing adequately version of you. You. The one who is here right now, in the middle of a night, having survived a day, carrying the weight of a self-evaluation that has not always been kind. That specific you, loved completely, without reservation, without a condition being held in reserve for the moment when you finally fall short enough to warrant withdrawal. There is no such condition. The love is not structured that way. The love is not a loan with terms. It is a gift with no return clause, extended to you before you had done a single thing to earn it, and maintained through everything that has happened since. This is the love that does not keep the ledger. This is the love that, when the ledger was shown to it, when every item in the account of human falling short was laid out in full, said, I know, I have seen all of it, and I choose this person anyway. I choose them completely. I come toward them rather than away. I stay. That love has stayed through every night of your life, through every version of you, through the versions you were proud of and the ones that embarrassed you and the ones that were simply ordinary, unremarkable. Getting through the Tuesday, every single version loved, every single night stayed. Jesus can save you from the story that you are only loved conditionally, that your worth is determined by the evaluation, that the love available to you is calibrated to your performance. That is not the truth of this love, and it is one of the most damaging lies a person can live inside. The lie that love is a score, that it goes up when you are good and down when you are not, that you are perpetually at risk of losing it if you are not vigilant enough about earning it. That lie is exhausting. It has been exhausting you. And the love that is present right now, the love that has always been present, is offering you the specific and revolutionary rest of being loved outside of that system, loved without the score, loved without the risk of withdrawal, loved as a given, the way the breath is a given, the way the ground is a given. Let that love be a given tonight. Let it be as obvious and as unexamined and as completely relied upon as the ground beneath the bed. You don't think about the ground holding you up. You don't wonder if it will continue to do so or evaluate whether you have earned its support today. It holds. That is what ground does. This love holds. That is what this love does. It is the most reliable thing in the universe, and it has your name in it, and you are inside it right now. Rest in it, all the way in. Let the body be held by the mattress, and let the mattress be held by the floor, and let the floor be held by the earth, and let the earth be held by something that made it and has not for a single instant been indifferent to what happens on it, to what happens to you on it in the middle of your one specific and precious and completely enough life. You are enough. The love confirms it. Breathe in and breathe out, and let the confirmation go deeper than the mind, down to where the body lives, down to where the truth lives that the mind has not always been willing to carry. You are sinking now into a rest that is deeper and warmer and more complete than the rest that comes from simply being tired. This is the rest that comes from being received, from being told something true, from having the weight of the performance, even briefly, even for this hour, lifted by the knowledge that the performance was never the point, that the worth was never contingent on the performance, that the real thing, the actual you, the essential, unrepeatable, particular, living, breathing, feeling you, was always already enough. That weight is lifting, not dramatically, not all at once, but a little in this warmth, in this quiet, in this place that has received you exactly as you are, a little lighter, a little more like a person who is allowed to rest rather than a person who is resting while waiting to be found out. You will not be found out, because what would be found if everything were stripped away and the truest account were given is not the thing you fear. It is not the deficit you have been managing. It is something extraordinary. It is a person who has felt deeply and kept going, who has fallen short and tried again, who has been afraid and done the thing anyway, who has loved imperfectly but genuinely, who has woken up to more hard mornings than anyone watching from the outside would suspect and found a way every single time to get up and continue. That is what would be found, and that is enough. That is more than enough. That is the kind of person that the world is quietly built by. The kind whose contribution is too ordinary and too consistent to be dramatic, but that holds everything together the way the ground holds everything, without announcement, without recognition, just reliably, just there. You are that person. You have always been that person. Going deeper still, the body is very far away from the thinking mind now, warm and heavy and completely still, doing its quiet midnight work of restoration and repair. The thinking mind is very soft, very loose, approaching the edge of the place where thinking gives way to something else, something less structured and more honest, where the intelligence of the body gets to operate without the overlay of the critical voice. In that space, something is clarifying. Not loudly, there is no loud here, but with the quiet certainty of things that have been true your entire life and have simply been waiting for a quiet enough moment to be heard. Your worth is not up for debate. It was settled before the debate began by the fact of your existence, by the presence of a love that chose you before you had anything to offer, by the body that has been making the case for your value in the most biological and irrefutable terms every moment of every day. The debate has been happening in only one place, the part of the mind that learned to doubt you before it had enough information to know better. That part has been running a closed loop, referencing only the evidence it started with, refusing the contradicting data, maintaining a verdict that was issued by a limited and frightened intelligence before you were old enough to cross-examine it. Tonight, the cross-examination begins. Not aggressively. There is nothing aggressive in this space, but clearly, gently, with the simple and devastating question, where is the actual evidence? Not for your imperfection. That evidence exists, as it does for every person who has ever lived, but for the specific and particular verdict that you are fundamentally lacking in worth. Where is that evidence? Who issued it? What were their qualifications for the judgment? What were their own unresolved wounds that shaped the lens through which they saw you? What would a more accurate assessment, one conducted with the full record, with all the contradicting evidence allowed, with the genuine attempt to see the whole person rather than the parts that confirmed a pre-existing conclusion? What would that assessment actually find? It would find a person of worth, a person who matters, a person whose presence in the world has made specific and unmistakable differences to specific people, who has given things that could not have come from anyone else, who has occupied a role in the lives of others that was shaped exactly to the particular contours of who they are. It would find evidence of value that the critical voice has been consistently suppressing. It would find a case so much stronger for your worth than the verdict that has been operating that the original verdict would be thrown out. Let it be thrown out, not by argument. The mind can always construct a counter-argument, but by this, by resting in the knowing of the body, by letting the warmth and the breath and the quiet confirm what the critical voice has been denying, by letting the love that is present here, the love that has seen the full record and issued a different verdict entirely, let that love be the authority tonight. The verdict of love. You are enough. You have always been enough. Nothing in the record changes this. The record in full only deepens it. Let that be the ground. Let that be what the rest tonight is resting on. And let the rest be complete and deep and real. The kind of rest that changes something, that leaves a mark, that the body and the spirit carry into the morning as a slightly different knowing, a knowing that the usual noise of the day will try to overwrite, and that will be quieter than the noise at first, but will be there, a thread of something